Let's assume now that you've finished your edit and now you need to export it to create a QuickTime movie. So you can turn it in as your homework. Okay, so the way you do it is that you have your timeline and make sure there's nothing else on it. And I'm going to go to the File menu and go down to Export. And under Export, we're going to export media. All right. And so the window that pops open is our export settings window. The first thing you want to do is here on the preview window on the left is you have a representation of your cut. And it won't play in real time, but you just drag the blue playhead, just make sure that is your cut, and you got at least the full 30 seconds. And that in this case, source range sequence into out, you can just go with the entire sequence, which will the more important default. Now, over here in the upper right, there's going to be a couple of things that are very confusing, and not all this information is correct. The first thing we see, that it is the format, QuickTime, and the preset, some kind of GoPro Cineform RGB 12-bit. Okay, that does not work for us. So what I'm going to do is under Format, click on that. And to be the easiest thing to do is to go down to H.264, which is one of the most common codecs we were using now. H.264. Click on that. And now, notice that the preset goes to match source high bit rate. All right. That's better than the GoPro one. The output name is correct, and notice it's blue. So I click on it. What it will bring up is where are we going to save this? So the destination for this file. So in this case, I'm going to just click on the save here to be safe. Hit save. It's going to create an MP4 file, which is fine, which is a QuickTime file. I want to make sure it does say export video, export audio. And here's the summary. This is very important to go through. It tells you what it's going to put out. And what's important here is to look at the source, the sequence, and notice that it says Honda Cut 1 Louis because I named it correctly. And this tells me what the current sequence is. It's 720 by 480, which is the pixel frame size, 720 pixels by 480 pixels tall. The aspect ratio is 0.9091. It's 2997 frames per second. It's lower, it's 3018, and it's 48 kilohertz, 48,000 hertz, and it's stereo. This tells me what the sequence is. I look at the output and make sure these numbers do match up. Yes, the frame rate is correct, lower, and everything else. And the rest of this is okay. I don't need to worry about all this stuff. But the most important thing is the first line. The frame size is correct. The aspect ratio is correct. Frame rate is correct. Okay? So now I know I am in the ballpark being correct. All this stuff down here is more detailed information that we will leave as is. All right? So in this case, it's good to go. And make sure you make sure the name is called Honda Cut 1 with your last name. Make sure you put into the save here. And at the bottom here, I'm going to hit export. And it's going to take roughly about 20 some odd seconds to finish this. All right. When it's done, I always double check it to make sure it's correct. And so let's try using this as our standard default export for all your class projects. All right, there it's done. I hide the Premiere Pro by clicking up here to Command H. I go to my save here, and there's a lot of stuff in this folder, so I go to the top. And if I look on, make sure the slider on the right is all the way to the top. I click on Date Modified, Today. There it is, Honda Cut 1. Now, I always will double check it. I double click on it. It looks normal. I hit play, and I do hear sound. Okay, all the way to the end. So this is important to always double check this before I put it into the Dropbox. All right, and under File Shares, this may change by next semester, but we click the Dropbox. You wait for all of the names to come up, LO again, and there should be a 31A homework depending on what day the section is. You will put it in the proper folder, and there should be a Honda Cuts folder. And I literally would just click on this, drag it, and drop it into the Honda Cuts. All right, and then it's always good to double check it, but you guys will do that, and you'll see different things on your end of things. But that's how you turn in homework into the Dropbox here on campus on one of these servers, and make sure you put in the right day and the right class.